great. Trump tells Big Mike, looking like Rihanna again, and we'll go over it. Wait till you see Big Mike's hair from the back. That's my favorite. And not like mine's any better. Mine's a little Vitalik right now. Do people know what Vitalik is? That's like a beetle, right?
And you have one strand.
I don't think that's so bad.
No, but I think it's okay.
My hair was cut wrong. And it's just, you could take a lot of weight off here would be better. Imagine if there's less weight right here. Right here. Wouldn't that make you respect me more? Little less weight here, right? She don't know. She likes when my hair is a big, giant fucking beetle.
I love your hair.
She likes it. I'll get out of the shower. It's this big, literally. Like my hair will go out this big when it's just.
And if you guys saw him,
she goes, "You should wear your hair like that on the show. Just wear your hair like that."
It's so cute. He looks like he's from Boy Meets World.
I could look like the most disgusting corpse, and she thinks I look so good. She's taking pictures and videos of me. She's obsessed with how I look.
That's true.
All right, here it is. The dang impulsive. Just hear some of the. We picked out just 4 or 5 moments that we thought you should watch.
It's going to be great. I think so. I'm looking forward to this all my life. My whole life. Anyway, hi, fellas. How you doing?
How are you, boss?
How's your brother? Good?
Yeah, he's excellent.
You have a good
And see, and they've got this confused look. Trump goes, "How's your brother? Good?" And he's like, "I hope I got that right." Look at this.
Hi, fellas. How you doing?
How are you, boss?
How's your brother? Good?
Yeah, he's excellent.
You have a good relationship with him, right?
With Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do now. But it's not always been like that.
It's always been, yeah, I can imagine.
This is my brother.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Taylor Tyson, we got it.
Yeah, right?
Who you got?
When is that gonna be?
So he don't know. Here's my problem, and this is what scares me. He shouldn't be doing these interviews willy-nilly because I don't think he knows Jake is fighting Tyson. I think he's confused about that. And I see his gears turning here. They go, "Who do you got? Jake versus Tyson. Who do you got?" And he goes,
Taylor Tyson, we got it.
Yeah, right?
Who you got?
When is that gonna be?
"Where is it going to be?" Okay, that's a good, instead of "what is that?" Because you can't look that out of it. You need to know about the Jake Paul Tyson fight, right? Isn't that a requirement for running for president? Like, you need to also now, in today's day and age, you need to know everything that, like, the cool people on Twitter know, right? As a president, like, you need to know about Ice Spice. You need to know about Brat. You need to know about these cultural events
Biden knows about Brat.
So I think you get a little nervous here with this. Is it Jake? Is it Logan? What's his fight?
Taylor Tyson, we got it.
Yeah, right?
Who you got?
When is that gonna be?
November. It got rescheduled.
Well, look, Mike was fantastic, but, Mike's a little older now.
Yeah.
And you guys can fight.
Yeah.
But you guys could fight. He seems to think like Logan and Jake are like a team, or I don't think he really understands which one is which. That's okay. We'll talk about that, but you guys could really fight.
But you guys can really fight, legitimately fight.
Thank you, sir.
At first I said, it's so amazing because I always thought like a UFC guy or a top, even contender would be able to win at 75 years old.
You think?
But it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I like that. See, he's relating to them. Doesn't work that way, though, as it turns out. Haven't you been going to UFC games for like the last 700 weeks, sir? He's acting like he's just figuring out about boxing. It's interesting because Mike Tyson's 57, but we all think of him as the best boxer, but they're saying he might not be able to hold up against a 26-year-old. Isn't that something? You learn something new I don't need you learning that now. You need to know that, okay? But I see he's just being nice. He's being gracious. More than Biden would do. You know what Biden did when we tried to interview him for this show? He wouldn't give us nothing. He kept going like this, biting his nails and sweating. I go, "What's wrong?" It turns out I had him under all these electric heaters. I was trying to make him break a sweat. But yeah, he wouldn't give a shit when Biden was here. We had to destroy the tape. Similar to how Bill Maher won't air his Kanye West interview. We will not air our Biden interview. Yeah, we had him here. We're pretty much in the same room. I mean, it cuts to the wide. You see the wood paneling and stuff? Trump's got the wood paneling. So, you know what we should get for the set, Jules? Write this down. A nice American flag. for 4th of July to celebrate the release of Goliath on July 4th, coming up, Josh Jenny special. I want American flags, the good kind. I want to make this American flag look like one that you get at 7-Eleven. Okay, I want I want to spend like a $1,200 flag, okay? It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be $1,200. All right, here he is. And here's the other thing about this, which I don't like President Trump doing in this. We see Trump on TV, right? He goes on TV all the time. And when you go on TV, they do makeup. When you go on TV, they have the right kind of lighting, hopefully, in most of these scenarios, although. But when you go on podcasts, their lighting is like doing the opposite favor for your skin. When you go on a podcast like Impulsive, whatever color correction they've done is bringing out your marks and your pocks and your zits and your scars and your sweat. Like, even look at this profile. It's going to get much worse, but look at Trump's ear. You wouldn't see such a glossy ear on television, okay? They would have makeup that up, or they wouldn't have shot so close, or they would have been using the right camera and the right lens. They would have put, the soft lighting on you, but not on a podcast. And that was kind of like a blind spot for him. So he went on this podcast, and wait till you see the other shots, because they did some color correction. They totally pulled out Trump's orange makeup. Meanwhile, he's getting called Orange Man Bad and all this crap. And Logan Paul, who's supposed to be, helping the president to win this presidency, you'll see coming up, he pulls out the orange so that it's a perfect mask around Trump, looking like the Luna Moon Man from the Pink Effect. But they do him dirty. This is what I'm trying to say. That was a blind spot. President Trump should have brought his own lighting and own camera guys for each of these podcasts, and they come in, they film, and then we give them the tape. Sure. But you let these guys choose their own lighting package, which is just Amazon basic panel lights, put right next to your face. You let them use these goofy cameras. Wait till you see how dirty they do Trump. This could hurt his chances of winning if we see how, these marks and stuff. Watch this.
The clock is still the clock.
Yeah. I figured that out with Floyd as well.
Yeah, how about that, right?
I don't know.
It was even.
Yeah, which shouldn't make...
thought he would have won that fight.
That's what I thought.
That was your baby.
Some people still think he did win that fight.
Oh, no way. We got gifts.
He's giving them the hat.
Oh, no way.
I'll get you loud there.
Thank you, President.
Thank you, President. They're getting the hats, the beautiful hats. Big Mike would look great in that hat.
You're a gangster.
This is what we're reduced to.
So they're holding up. There's the
Should we put him on now?
T-shirts. Logan's having a blast. Big Mike is like sweating. He's so nervous because this goes against everything that, I believe he still stands for. Mike doesn't want to do this. Mike wishes it was the other way around. But if Mike goes where the wind blows, Mike was woke like a year and a half ago. Mike was all about Hillary Clinton. So for him to just change, and he even wrote this tweet. Did you have that tweet?
Yeah,
read that one part of his tweet. He even wrote this tweet, and you can see he's so nervous and sick to his stomach. The guilt this is going to bring Big Mike. Because here he is. He got this opportunity, right? Okay, so he did it because it's, clout-tagious. He wanted all this. This should be a big opportunity that he should be happy about. But it's got Mike all up all night, anxious, guilty, not being able to sleep, depressed, back in that poor state because the guilt's eating him up alive.
I texted it to you.
Yeah, look at this. You'll see right here. And then he had to put up this tweet because half of his people were going, Mike, what's going on? You're kind of a sellout. And these are Trump people saying it. We're not talking about, which side is right. We're just saying Mike was on the other side. He never showed us this journey where he switched, but then all of a sudden just switched up when it was like okay to like Trump. Remember, there was a time shortly after the switch over there with Biden and Trump, where like Trump was really hated. Nobody was on Trump's side with the stole the election thing, right? I mean, it wasn't everybody kind of like, oh, he's crazy, he's nuts. But then something happened where they all kind of just started really liking Trump again, you know, because people like Big Mike and Logan, they hated Trump for a period of time. Then they all of a sudden, everybody in the world kind of just started really liking him again. And now that he's this popular, here's Big Mike and Logan, and he had to write this big speech to cope with, you know, why he did this. Where's that one line, though, where he goes, oh, yeah, here, it's number one. He goes, after being all over from anti-Trump to neutral to whatever, it was nice to finally meet him. Okay, so it's like you were anti-Trump, then you were neutral, and now he's whatever.
What does that mean?
Which is like, so he's still too afraid to say pro-Trump. Okay, well, what does this mean? From going from anti-Trump to neutral to whatever, doesn't matter. He still doesn't want to be on paper saying he's for Trump.
Just in case.
Just in case. So you could tell this whole interview, it's like this didn't give him the W that he was expecting. It didn't give him that glow, that great feeling, you know, that even Logan probably went home and got to enjoy for a few hours. Big Mike probably had a real 3 days of probably being kind of depressed and anxious, laying there on his phone, worrying about what everyone was saying in the comments, as he should. So here he is. He wrote this big thing. Okay, let's show some of our favorite moments here. And again, we'll look into Big Mike's hair, which, you see what I'm talking about back here? Can you see this? So they've sliced and diced, and this is why I think this is like a Jeff prank. I mean, this is like a haircut you give like a imbecile from the 40s. So it's shaved here, you know, but then they did the back here. See how they shaved that there and kept that? That to me makes it so
That's
extra
crazy.
repulsive. And it's hanging on. It looks like, you know, he conditioned with battery acid. You know, his hair, it's like Kumia's, where you see it and you go, oh, is that like burning? You know, it looks like it's been under some sort of heat and it's actually like crackling and burning. You could see it kind of moving as it burns. I don't know why he thought, you know, this could be the biggest thing he ever does in his life, right?
Yes.
Why
probably.
would you wear your hair like Rihanna? Which again, proof here. Oh, what happened? Proof. Proof. Oh, she disappeared. I'm so sorry, but you gotta believe me. He looks just like current Rihanna. Look it up. Match it with this date. Okay, here we go. What's our first code here?
You can go to 0152, which I have written pause here to examine Mike's hair.
Yeah, okay,
So
let's take another look.
Maybe that's
here.
where we already were.
Oh, no way.
This is going to be all superficial.
I sell for a lot of money this thing.
Oh, no way. Oh, thank you, President.
Oh, that's right.
She split it up. Here's
amazing.
for you. This is
We already saw
Yeah, this is
Okay, you can go to 02.
we wanted to see that side
Yeah,
view,
yeah,
and we
yeah.
got that. Okay.
If you go to 0200, this is just the beginning of the interview if you want to see how it starts.
up. Here's
amazing.
Oh.
We're still doing this here. Okay.
this is
Just skip ahead till they sit down.
Rallying behind.
Okay. Here we go. They're in front of the mics.
It happened, and might as well monetize it.
Well, Mr. President, people surely love it. They love the picture. They rallied behind it. They're rallying behind you now.
well, they
More
are.
than ever.
And you know, we had the biggest fundraising I think ever for any candidate ever anywhere in the world in the last.
It'd be nice to see Logan. That's Logan getting up to fix Mr. President's microphone. You know, but compared to the Logan on recent Impulsives, I mean, it would be nice to see Logan put this much, passion into the show he's been doing for the last year. You know, on the other show, he lets that mic fly up. He's laying back there like this, like, yeah, let's wrap it up, bro. But in this, he's really all over. He's found his passion in podcasting again.
8 or 9 days, making hundreds of millions of dollars.
They've got these papers.
Too bad
Look
it
at
couldn't
this.
have been done for other reasons, but they viewed the
Look at
cases
Big Mike
being so
studying
corrupt
his script.
and so ridiculous. You know, every one of the legal pundits, and they're great guys. When you look at Dershowitz, the whole group, that whole group.
This is how they open the interview?
Andy McCarthy.
Logan's getting worried here. He doesn't know who he's
Jonathan
talking about.
Greg Jarrett, everyone.
Big
They
Mike's
have no fucking...
Yeah, I have seen some of those names around Twitter, so those are legit names.
But they're both kind of scared here because they're hearing a bunch of names and some, to me, technical talk. Okay, whatever he's saying here, that is considered it's not social. It's technical. This is, by the way, I want to show you how little I get involved in politics. All that stuff he's saying, to me, is, once again, technical. I'll let you hear this. Listen.
When you look at Dershowitz, the whole group,
I don't know what that, when you look at Dershowitz, couldn't tell you what that meant. Sorry. I've heard it. I've heard people, Dershowitz. I just thought it was a sports thing. I thought it was a commentator of a sports game from ESPN Plus. So, yeah, I don't know what that means, but I don't think Big Mike and Logan know what that means. I certainly wouldn't be going, yeah. I go, sorry, save this Dershowitz for somebody who cares. Maybe Tim Pool, not me.
That whole group of people, Andy McCarthy.
Andy McCarthy.
Jonathan Charlie.
Earth and Charlie. Okay. Earth to Charlie. Is that what he said?
Group of people, Andy McCarthy, Jonathan Charlie.
Jonathan Turley. Is this the name?
Never heard of him.
And look at Big Mike here. When he hears Logan and Big Mike right now are like, we're fucked. We are completely fucked. We have no idea what this means. Look.
People, Andy McCarthy, Jonathan Charlie, Greg.
Whoa, do you see Mike's little head now there? He's so fucking scared. Let me see if I can go back just a little bit. Yeah, look at that.
Charlie, Greg Jarrett, every one of them.
Oh, it's not in the paper, Mike. You didn't write that. You write Greg Jarrett. What's Greg Jarrett, Mike? Explain to us what Greg Jarrett is. And Logan don't know either. So,
no.
But luckily, Trump picks up on stuff like this. Like, he knows who's dumb. Like, he does interviews with the Nelk boys. He goes, fabulous little boys. I love these boys. But he knows they're dirt stupid. Like the Nelk boys are some of the stupidest people that we have. Some of the stupidest boys online. And he knows that. And what I like about Trump is he lets you be dirt stupid. Whereas I'd have no patience. I go, I'd have to walk out of the interview. In fact, that's what Biden did to me.
And you don't even know who Jordan Jarrett is either.
No, exactly. And Biden, when Biden brought up Jordan Jarrett to me, I was like, I don't know who that is. He goes, this interview's over. And then he called me. He left this message. He goes, I love you very much. I'm here for you. And I love you very much. I said, thank you. All right, listen to this shit.
Came out and they said, there's not even a case here. There's no case. And when they saw the jury instructions, when they saw all the things that happened, and it's not like anybody's a friend of mine. Mark Levin is an example. They couldn't believe it. So unfair. It's a very unfair thing. And because of that...
Oh, boxing nervous. And look at how ugly Logan's getting, by the way. Wait till you see. We've got some close-ups of Logan. He has gotten uglier, I'll tell you. We think it is, because he's doing WWF. That's where you cut your head with a razor blade and you inject steroids all goddamn day. And, steroids, ultimately, they affect every muscle in your body if you're, lifting and training as much as he is. What people don't think about, the steroids are also going to, make the muscles in your face grow faster than normal. Bigger than normal. So let's say a muscle in your face grows this little fucking minuscule, like, hair, the width of a hair. For a normal guy working out for 2 years, if you're on this much steroids like Logan Paul is, your face muscle is going to grow like 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch. And it's going to start making you look unrecognizable in a bad way. You'll see, this isn't the best example, but you're going to see his face. It's almost like when you see, who's the girl that we hate? Jim's from The Office's wife.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. Did you see this new Emily Blunt movie?
The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy. Kill me. Seriously. If you like the Fall Guy, we got to have like a fundamental discussion about who we are as people. You know, there's around here, you know, we've always hated this, and this is hard for people to hear. I'd like to see the chat for this one. This is hard for people to hear. We hate and despise with all of our, Jules and I, with all of our body, with all of our blood, with every bone in our body, we despise Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, people wouldn't know that. They go, yeah, but you, what's this movie called? I hate to even say it.
Deadpool.
Deadpool. That's Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yep.
I bet a lot of you, and you don't got to tell me, we don't got to have an argument over it. You know, I'm not here to put you down. But I bet 75% of you pretty much think Deadpool's pretty kick-ass, right? I hope not, but I would understand. See, the thing about me, I've a lot of people will like tell you what they like, and that's what you have to like, and that offends people, right? I completely understand that most people probably think Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, is it? This Deadpool character, these movies are pretty good, right? Not here at Red Bar. We despise these movies
I'm
with
so worried
all of our
Taylor's
heart.
going to be in the new Deadpool
Of course,
movie.
because she's friends with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is a guilty person. We have proof of that coming up later. This new movie with, what's her name? Say it again, that we were just talking
Emily
about.
Blunt.
Emily Blunt and
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Gosling, I'm sorry, you've gotten the facial surgeries now. Emily Blunt had the facial surgeries. They've got a different face. Emily Blunt is no longer the person we signed up to watch. And it's just a little plastic surgery, just a little bit, can make you not the person we agreed to watch. And people don't quite get this.
Like him need plastic. What does he need fillers for?
I mean,
It's so
they both look
ridiculous. He looks
ridiculous. They've got
insane.
these things, and these girls who are getting these things that go out like this. You look like a widehead schmo. I don't know what to tell you.
Would have looked really cool and awesome and hot, old probably.
So those are fillers. Everybody knows the dangers of fillers and this plastic surgery and how ugly we find the women who get plastic surgery. We would rather look at an aging Emily Blunt than this fake face Emily Blunt, where now the Emily Blunt features are gone, right? There's no longer, that's not Emily Blunt anymore. And I'll say, for this movie, what was it called? Hitman?
No, The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy.
But there's also Hitman.
We despised The Fall Guy. And it's, you know, again, 90% we despised it. And to me, if I were the director of Fall Guy and I see Emily Blunt show up on set with this, I go, no. That's not Emily Blunt anymore. You're fired, and we're suing you because of this breach of contract because you changed your face. You're no longer someone that anyone really wants to look at on screen. It was the old you. And that's what's happening right here with Logan Paul. You'll see it in these other angles. Logan Paul's steroids are causing his face muscles to change, and he's starting to get hideous, okay? All right, are we going to another code here?
You can go to, okay, this is kind of a Trump thing.
Sure.
You can go to 0600. I love this thing that he always says about mental institutions.
Yes.
And
we've got a big, because
is this
again,
true?
I got to ask the politicanos out here, because I got a good question. I like this. Listen to this.
You know, we have a little expression, it's right on that hat, make America great again. And we can do that, make America great again. And this guy's not going to do it. This guy's destroyed our country. When you allow 15, 16, 17, they have no idea where they got away.
Listen to this.
Million people coming out of jails, coming out of mental institutions, insane asylum.
This is like a new, he's really focusing on, and I'm not against this, focusing on, they're coming from mental institutions and asylums. Oh, I'm really not being sarcastic here. I'm not trying to we have a serious question. Listen to this.
Now, 15, 16, 17, they have no idea where the gotaways. Million people coming out of jails, coming out of mental institutions, insane asylum. The insane asylums all over the world, the mental institutions, they're at the lowest levels they've been at.
Okay, is this true? Because if it is, we got to vote for Trump. We got to get him. No, I did not mean to. I swear to God, I did not mean to do that.
Guess I forgot to laugh.
I didn't mean to do that. So,
Does Mexico
are
even
there
have
people? So, what's going on in
asylums?
Mexico? Because if I'm hearing this right, and I'm not being. It's hard to cover this without thinking you're just being a sarcastic asshole here. So, I really want to warn people that I'm not. Does Mexico? What I'm hearing here is Mexico has a problem where it seems like a security issue with Mexico's insane asylums, where mental institutions and asylums and stuff like this, is everybody breaking out of them and coming? How are they getting out of the asylum? So listen again, because
And are mental institution and asylum two different places? Like asylum is more
like
serious,
mental
and they're
institution is where
both
like
getting out?
or what's her name goes for the 72-hour psych evaluation. Sarah
Yes, Weinshank.
Sherman. Sarah Weinshank. That she goes to a mental institution. The asylum is where you go, when you got to be there for like a year, right? Okay, you've got your own cell. You're in the asylum. Okay, let's hear this one.
In 16, 17, they have no idea what the gotaways. Million people coming out of jails, coming out of mental institutions, insane asylum.
Insane asylum.
I need to know. This is an honest question. Has anybody asked why millions of people are getting out of Mexican insane asylum?
Not even
Again.
how they're getting over the border, but how are they getting out
Why are
of
these
the asylum?
insane asylums so lax? So in Mexico, you would think they'd be like strict. The cops are always shaking people down for cash and stuff. You would think there's no getting out of a Mexican asylum. But apparently, you could come you could leave if you want. A lot of them, I guess most of them are running away to America.
Are they doing like lobotomies and shock treatment in there?
I need to know why they can't just stay in the asylum. Or is it like an asylum program? They lock them up in the asylum for a few months and then they release them to America once they're fixed. And then, or so-called fixed. I mean, I wouldn't trust a Mexican insane asylum,
Look, and he's talked about this a lot. I put 2 more clips of him saying it if you want. And he says every single time he brings this up,
that's what I mean. He's focusing on this word asylum, and it's working on me as the guy who buys every fucking product on Instagram because of the ads. It's working on me. I hear asylum. Nothing scarier to me, ever since I was a kid, to me, insane asylum, scary as it gets.
Yes.
I didn't care about rapists or murderers. They're not going to rape me. They're not going to murder me. Trust me.
And if they do, it's over. It's
but
fine.
Asylum people are the worst. Really, like, I wouldn't even mind homeless people. In Chicago, you had homeless people. It was a nice old black man going, "How are you, Mr.
Yes.
Michael? Have a gracious day." He was like Santa.
In Calgary, I had like 5 homeless friends.
Yeah, but the homeless people now are fully insane asylum guys. Those blow their heads off. For real, that to me is no different than a zombie from a film. So if there's really the asylums are being let out, that's a problem. And why don't we take this head on with Mexico? I'm sure the whole country would be okay with us. How about hey, Mexico, why don't you respond to this? Why are they coming out of the asylum here that we have to deal with? There was another part there?
You got the idea.
Great. Okay.
You can go to 0804. This is just another Mike Hair moment.
Okay, let's see.
From
and
a different
he keeps
angle.
reading this script. To me, I wouldn't want to be interviewed with somebody holding this paper. Even Tim Pool was way better at interviewing the president. Tim Pool did a great job interviewing the president. Here's the prime or the crime, as we call it. Okay. All right, let's see. And here's the fifth vital, of course. This fake book where, not a month goes by where I don't get a message. Yo, I'm from Big Mike's hometown, and that book is straight up lies. I mean, they've been doing we were going to have an investigation, but we kind of,
We got sick.
So, but, I've had dozens of people message me saying Big Mike was not addicted to heroin for 8 years. He probably got a couple of loose Vicodins from his mom, and they tried it at a sleepover, and he got caught doing it, right? Or, he had a couple Vicodins and got caught in the car with it, okay? And his parents had to pick him up at the police station. And then Big Mike turns this into, every time I hear him, the year amount gets longer. Like in this interview, he's like, I battled a 16-year heroin addiction every day. And now look at me. And it's like, I don't know, man. That sounds like a long time. I don't think you were really on heroin that long. Like when you're a kid, everything seems a lot longer. This could have been for like half a summer. You know, where you had like 2 Vicodins, 2 weekends over a summer, and he's kind of confusing it. Every week it gets a little longer and longer. And that's what I think about his book. I think, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft Copilot wrote his book, which came out in 2020. For those people who are worried about ChatGPT and stuff like this. Microsoft Copilot came out in 2020, and it's been working fine. Okay. I use ChatGPT for everything here. Okay. All right. What's our next? Or we're going right here. No, we're going here.
Oh, yeah. I just put this one as a hair.
Hosted by one of your favorite television networks, CNN.
Well, they gave me the option. They said...
so we were just looking at his hair right there, right?
I was just trying to get a code for each
that'll
angle,
be
but you
CNN.
saw.
We got it.
Okay, you can go to 1500.
1500. Here we go. Whoa! This is where it starts getting... this isn't the Logan I know. Now, he could be getting Michaela Peterson with this lens. But yeah, there's something different about him. And if there's not something different about him, well, you're just a bad guy. I mean, look at these eyes. You freeze every time you freeze frame Logan, you get to see the real person.
Oh, he looks monstrous.
Okay, watch this shit here.
It's
Neither do we.
They're like pausing and doing an ad here.
make him a fighter, maybe.
No, I don't want. Guys, it's 2024. We want to spend less and save more. That's just a fact. But how? How are we supposed to save when we're paying inflated prices for everyday essentials like gas and groceries? You can't just cut those purchases out of your budget. But now, thanks to my 2024 money back hack, you can get cash back from them.
Okay, so he's doing money back hacks now. Great. Just what I fucking need. Money back hacks. CoffeeZilla know about these money back hacks? Stay out of money. You got to see how bad he looks. Is he coming across sickly looking here, or is it cleaning him up?
Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines.
That's so scary.
Which is the best
This
one? This one. Doesn't he look a little different here? You see the steroids are like, they're doing some news. Note like his little nose muscle here is getting too big. These muscles, they're starting to get, unless he got fillers, I mean.
Maybe he just got punched, did too many wrestling slams.
There's something off about the way his face is morphing.
It's out with Upside. You get cash back on every single purchase. Upside is my secret weapon for staying on track with my savings goals.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised that he shot that commercial from that straight on angle, because I feel like usually he tries to hide that side of his face because he knows this
Greg
side
Paul.
is his better angle. Yes, he looks
We got some
very
Greg
Greggy
Paul.
on the other
see
side.
when it cuts in right here, because one day this is all going to cut in. Imagine if this was more cut in like this. And he goes, hey there, Sonny.
And when he's bald like Greg Paul.
He's bald, yeah, too. Okay, what's our next code here?
No, I mean when he gets fully Greg, but like imagine it right now.
Well, I know he's got this thing. So his hairline, for those who don't know, goes like this. It's like Mac Lethal. And then these are bangs that start from here to cover the hairline. I mean, it's not a secret anymore. He'll be like riding a jet ski or something, and this will flip back, and he really looks bizarre. But yeah, the hairline goes like this. And if there's one thing we all can agree on as people, if you've got one of these hairlines, you can't be acting like this, right? You got to be nice. You got to be nice if you're going to walk around with the bad hair. You got to be nice. Okay, what's our next code? I'd like to get over this.
You can just go to 3335.
Okay, here we go.
This is one of my favorite parts.
All right, let's see what happens.
It would be a simple message. I really mean it, actually.
The same opportunities he's had in America, I've had as well. My road has been a little bit rockier, as we were talking about in my book, The Fifth Vital. I spent 8 years addicted to heroin, living on the East Coast, in what I considered, I think a lot of people considered.
So you were addicted.
Correct.
I spent 8 years of my life on heroin. It was pretty rough. And then Trump's just sitting there, and he goes, you were addicted. I mean, it's the best thing I've ever heard.
So
Look
cute.
at this.
I spent 8 years addicted to heroin, living on the East Coast. In what I considered, I think a lot of people considered.
So you were addicted.
Correct.
He can't believe it. Correct. You sure it was 8 full years while you were a teen? That's a long childhood to be I don't think you were addicted to heroin for 8 years as a kid. I mean, how? That's like a huge bulk of your childhood, 8 years. When is he claiming this started? That's just bizarre. You were addicted.
I spent 8 years addicted to heroin, living on the East Coast. In what I considered, I think a lot of people considered.
So you were addicted.
Correct.
Wow.
I think a lot of people consider it to be the great opiate
Let me
epidemic.
see the book. Can I see the book?
Absolutely.
We're gonna
This is Mike's book. We've been making fun of this book since it came out. So this is an honor to see the president, and look how happy he is to receive this little book here. He's looking like a zook. And here's Big Mike. Look at Big Mike doing the Jewish meme thing. I mean,
think he might have Adderalled up for this because he looks like so sweaty.
Yeah. He Adderalled up, and his eyes. I mean, look at his eyes. And look at that haircut. Okay, so here he is handing over the book.
I think a lot of people consider it to be the great opiate
Let me
epidemic.
see the book. Can I see the book?
Absolutely.
We're gonna make this sucker a best-selling book.
There's a message. There's a message for you.
No, it's such an important.
It's actually
Where's
already
my camera?
it's already a
Go
best-selling
out
book.
and buy this book. It's great.
Go out and buy this book. Really. He's never read the fucking book. It's a very poorly written book. Old book, by the way. Like, Big Mike, you got to come out with a second book. This is like a 4-year-old book. Wouldn't that be so easy if you just had this fucking cheap Amazon print-on-demand book that you could just keep peddling to new audiences every couple months? God.
Sucker, a best-selling book.
There's a message. There's a message for you.
No, it's such an important.
It's actually
Where's
already
my camera?
it's already a
What a
best-selling
moment.
book.
Buy this book. It's great.
That was for you, I believe.
I wrote a message to you in
Good.
there. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep it.
Thank you
but
so much.
it's such an important topic. Yeah, seriously, that's so important.
There's a lot of people that are still
He
kind of.
changes. Who does he remind me? He's like, seriously, that's so cool. Like, what is... I've never seen him do this. Listen how he... Seriously, that's so cool.
That was for you, I believe.
I wrote a message to you in
Good.
there. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep it.
Thank you so
But
much.
it's such an important topic. Yeah, seriously, that's so important.
Who was? I've never seen Trump quite do that. Seriously, that's so... What does that remind me of?
There's a lot of people that are still kind of wrapped up in that world. And I just want to ask you some questions. In 2023, the DEA seized more than 80 million fentanyl-laced fake pills, 12,000 pounds of fentanyl powder. There's so many people out there on the streets right now without access to resources with mental health care, rehabilitation centers.
Yeah.
What's your plan to continue to
Listen to
stem
this. What's the plan
flow of-
for people like Big Mike that were like me, addicted to heroin, and all the people who buy my book that are trying to get off the stuff?
The war on drugs was the worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah, what's your plan for the people like me? Big Mike asks.
fentanyl into the country, as well as help the people who have already fallen victim to the opiate epidemic?
So when I took over, it was drug infested. When I ran in 2016, I ran on the border. And I fixed the border, and I couldn't even use it in 2020 in the campaign, even though I got millions of more votes than I got the first time. I couldn't talk about the border because I fixed it. And I'd say to my people, I want to talk about the border. I was proud of the job we did. We had it fixed. It was really in good shape. And drugs were at the lowest point in years. And, not only people, drugs, human trafficking, which is such a horrible thing. It's You think of it as like an ancient kind of a crime, and it's bigger now than ever before because of the internet. The internet has made a lot of these things much bigger than they have ever been. When you think of human trafficking, mostly in women, by the way, people don't know that, mostly in women, where they put them in trunks of cars, they have compartments. It's so horrible. And I had it down to the lowest level, just about, I guess, in recorded.
First of all, that's like, does Tate know he said this? Tate, Trump thinks that's horrible, what you do. I thought you guys were all on the same side.
Where they put them in trunks of cars, they have compartments. It's so
There's
horrible.
no trunk in Tate's car, so that's how we know. Tate's probably not a human trafficker. Where are you going to put her?
Yeah, and the engine.
In the
cabin.
engine. The engine's in the back.
And I had it down to the lowest level, just about, I guess, in recorded times. So what you have to do is you have to be very tough on that. We had a deal on the fentanyl is pouring through. I bought millions of dollars worth of equipment. Believe
Very
it or
tough.
not, they call it sniffing equipment, but believe it or not, the best thing to find it, you can spend millions of dollars on equipment and machinery to find drugs coming through, like,
You going to say it soon?
sort of finds it.
Oh, I thought
The
that's
best thing is a German Shepherd born in a certain
dog,
Do you know
for
that?
sure.
Okay, well, I don't know where he says it, but basically his answer to Big Mike's question about all these people on heroin, Trump responds with, they should get the death penalty. That's what he said. The electric chair. And Big Mike was kind of like,
Okay, cool.
as he like puts his book back down.
You don't have to keep that one. I'll send you another one in the mail.
Very nervous. Okay, let's wrap
The
this up.
final 46:52, Trump just tells us about something he's just done, and then you can end.
You announced that 13 missiles have been sent to, let's not use the name of a country.
Wow.
We've just sent 13 nuclear missiles heading to somewhere.
Okay, well, that sounds. So yeah, we checked all over. This didn't even make the news, so nobody's watching this. But he's saying he just sent 13 missiles somewhere. Big Mike met Darnell Trump. We're
Very
so happy
proud.
for him. All right, we'll take a quick little break. We'll be right back in seconds. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Wait till you hear what happens next on Redbar. We'll see you soon.